Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and something I like to do before the anniversary is I kind of like to do like the best teams on Global, and talk about what the current best teams are before the anniversary starts. So I am recording this about middle of June. It's about June 13th here. The anniversary is about a month away, a few weeks away, and we're going to be getting some new units. So what I like to do is I like to go through my box, look at my units, my teams, and look at what I think are the 10 best teams in the game at this point. Obviously, when the anniversary comes, we're going to be getting a lot of updates to this. But so players can just kind of know right now. Maybe there's newer players. There's always a lot of players like returning to the game around anniversary. So it's nice to have a video like this just to get an update as like, hey, what are some of the best units? What are some of the best teams? Things like that. So I'm just going to jump right into it. The one thing I'm going to say is, I don't know that for some of the teams, I think there is like a for sure like best team build, but a lot of these is getting to the point in the game where the leader skills have so much coverage. There's just so many options. So I don't think for any of these team builds there's like one best team. I'm just putting together teams that I feel like if I were going to try to run into red zone, like what's a team that could beat it, right? But there are plenty of more options than what I'm showing here. So I'm going to kind of sort it more by like leader skill and saying like these are leader skills that I think that you could build some of the best teams in the game. And so at number 10, we are going to start with the Year 7 gods. Now the Year 7 units have definitely fallen off quite a bit. But they're still good enough to run in most red zone stages, right? And the leader skill for this guy has a lot of coverage. So here we're getting movie heroes and power beyond Super Saiyan, which are two really busted categories, right? Now the reason why this team is so low is simply because the Year 7s as the leader, they're actually going to be one of the weaker units. As you look through all these team builds, they're actually one of the weaker units there. But I wanted to showcase this team because you can run a couple of nice rotations because there's two really, really good God Gokus in the physical... Or sorry, I put the wrong one here. Sorry. This is supposed to be the physical God Goku. Hold on. Oh my gosh. The card arts look so similar, right? So we need the physical God Goku, which is right here. That's the one. Sorry, we've got the physical Dokkan Fest God Goku, who's one of the best TURs in the game. And then we have the Int LR EZA God Goku. And then just running those as cohesive rotations with the LR gods is very good. And then you could float Path to Power Kid Goku, you could float this STR Piccolo, and you can float Tech God Goku, which those characters are going to be very good, supporting and defensive to help in red zone. Now, this would be like kind of a mold of a standard team build I like, where I like my two main rotations and then like good floating support units. Now, what you're going to see with some of these team builds, some of the teams don't have as strong of support options, so we might just have more quote-unquote on-rotation units, but you might just float some of them, but they're like, we need units that are good enough to be in red zone. So this is just an example team build. Now, within this leader skill, you have a ton of other options, right? And we have like AGL Gogeta, who's really, really good, right? He's definitely a unit you could run on this team. He links really well with the gods. The other thing is the Year 5s are going to EZA, and they're going to fit into a lot of these teams, right? You're not going to see the Year 5s on any of these because this is a current global right now. They're not EZA'd yet, but that's a character you can keep in the back of your mind. Like, yeah, the Year 5s are going to be insane on a lot of these team builds, right? So let's go to number 9. So number 9 would be a Piccolo Jr. team for me. Piccolo Jr. is one of the newest Dokkan Fest, and he's very, very good. He's kind of unique in that he kind of fits the mold of like these extreme big bad bosses units rather than being on like a Namekian team. So we're going to kind of do a build with a lot of the best extreme class big bad bosses units in the game. So we're going to run a couple of the STR coolers that are really good. AGL Golden Frieza, an excellent option you can run. We do have Orange Piccolo here just because I feel like Orange Piccolo is either number 1 or number 2 best unit in the game. So if you can get him on the team, you usually want to try to throw him in there. And then Turles is just a floating support option. I would say Turles is probably the weak link here. You could definitely toss in something else if you wanted to in that slot, but that would be an example team build there for Piccolo Jr. Then we have the actual cooler team. So I think running double STR cooler would probably be the best option. I would say you could do double STR cooler or you could do double Carnival cooler. So I would just lump those two in together. I didn't want to make them separate teams. But doing STR cooler is going to allow you to have like Janemba. So I think Janemba is still actually a very solid good LR you could run. We have AGL Golden Frieza. So you're going to see a lot of repeat units because we want to focus on the best units in the game. But I would say whether it be like this cooler build or like a Piccolo Jr. team, one of these two teams or some combination would be the best extreme team in the game. Extreme still needs a lot more love on Dokkan. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So that's number what do we see? 10, number 9, that's team number 8. So here's team number 7 on my list. This would be a Beast Gohan team. Now, the reason why this team maybe isn't higher, like it's a very good leader skill, right? Has a lot of coverage between superheroes and hybrid Saiyans. The only reason this team maybe isn't ranked higher is because Beast Gohan can struggle for ki, and unless you're completely supporting him, like I don't know that I want to have 2 Beast Gohans on the team, to be honest. So Beast Gohan is a unit that I think works better on other leader skills, but I'll just say I had to showcase him as the leader because you can run some really busted units. So another character you'll see a lot is AGL Super Saiyan Gohan here. The Cell Gohan, very, very good unit with his EZA. He's absolutely busted. And the thing is with a team build like this, we've got the Gammas built into it. So this Gohan could actually transform, right? Now, you definitely could, under the superheroes lead, you could find a Super Saiyan Goku if you want to get like the full buff for this Gohan, but you don't have to have that. I think just this Gohan alone, even if he doesn't transform, is crazy enough. Vegeta and Trunks, really, really good unit. You're going to see them in a couple of team builds. They're one of the best units in the game. And then Orange Piccolo, obviously, if you can run Orange Piccolo, why not just run Orange Piccolo? Now, Orange Piccolo is kind of in an odd spot here. You can run him on rotation with Beast Gohan. I think they share like 3 links, so you could do that. If you're feeling like it's an odd spot here, because, you know, you've got the Vegeta and Trunks, you kind of want them to be in slot 1, so they're going to take up a slot, and then you'd probably want, and they could be a rotation with maybe this Gohan, and then I guess you could do this Gohan with Piccolo, and then you just have to float another Beast Gohan. Another option could be is you could take out Orange Piccolo, and maybe find a Super Saiyan Goku if you want to be able to transform, or get the full buff with the Transform Gohan. That's definitely an option there, right? Alright, number 6 is the new World Tournament Goku team. Now, the reason why I have this one ranked higher than the Piccolo Jr., I just feel like this team is a little bit more cohesive, like with linking and everything, and has a really nice built-in setup where you've got some really nice floating support options. So what I would do on this team is I would run a rotation of this Goku, probably with Bulma, actually, because Bulma is actually really crazy. And then you could actually do another rotation of this Goku with Path to Power Kid Goku, because they've got Dragon Ball Saga links. So they're going to link really, really well together. Floating Jackie Chun with his damage reduction, supporting World Tournament, which is actually relevant on this team, I think is a great support option. Yeah, Jirobe's one of the better support units in the game, and this Krillin's really busted, one of the best support units in the game. So I just feel like this team has a little bit more flow. It just gels a little bit nicer to me than maybe the Piccolo Jr. team, even though I think Piccolo Jr. is probably a better unit alone than the Goku. But as a team, I kind of like the flow of this team better, right? All right, next team on the list, of course, we've got to have our boy Physical God Goku. This guy's one of the best TURs in the game. It is a stacking unit, so you kind of want to focus on having him there and stacking. Once again, it's going to be a common theme, but you're going to see this Kid Gohan everywhere, right? And then this Tech Carnival Goku is still one of the best units in the game. Now, there's 2 routes you could take with this team. Obviously, Carnival Goku and this Gohan, they're like perfect linking partners, so they're a great rotation to run. But then you're kind of in an odd spot where you'd have to float one of the God Gokus, which you could do that. You could just float one and then maybe run him on rotation with Path to Power Kid Goku, or you could take this other Carnival Goku on rotation if you wanted to. But a way you could do it is, I think God Goku would share enough links that you could do one rotation with him and Gohan and another rotation with him and Carnival Goku. It's totally up to you how you want to run it, but some combination, like there's a lot of options for this team. Once again, a bunch of other options you can use. You wouldn't necessarily have to build it exactly like I have it here. Tech God Goku, once again, you'll see this guy in a couple of team builds, but he doesn't work in every situation. So if you're not going against a movie boss or a pure Saiyan, then you would have to take this guy out for something else anyway, so just keep that in mind, right? STR Carnival Goku, I think, is a great floating option, though you can run on a lot of these teams. He is a support option, right? The next team here would be the actual Vegeta and Trunks led team. Now, this is the reason why this team ranks so high is because Vegeta and Trunks, this is a unit you do want 2 of on the team. They're going to work really great on each rotation, and you just build the team around building these 2 up and just making them crazy, right? So this is one here where I for sure would just take Tech Carnival Goku on one rotation with them, take the Gohan on another rotation with him, and you're good to go, and just kind of float the rest here. I did put God Goku here just because it's another good team he fits on, but you wouldn't have to run him here. If you would want just another floating support option, you could do that as well. But Path to Power Kid Goku, he's a unit you're going to see a lot because he's so good. He gives the rotation damage reduction, he orb changes, he supports depending on what team you have him on. Just a really crazy unit, because the thing is he supports this Gohan, because this Gohan's on youth. So, like, even if it's not like Dragon Ball Saga, like, he still supports some other really insane units in the game. So I use him a lot. So once again, a lot of repetition, but I would say some type of team build with the Vegeta and Trunks is definitely going to be top tier, right? All right, now this one's a little biased, and I think this is my third best team that I have ranked. Probably ranking this higher than most people would, but a Path to Power Kid Goku team. Now, there's a lot of builds you can do for this. I just happen to have a full Dragon Ball Saga build, but dude, I have been wrecking the game with this team. It fits every checkbox perfectly. Like, it's viable in Red Zone, has the two main rotations with floating support units. The floating supports are viable on pretty much every Red Zone stage. Like, this team is just crazy. And I know it's got 3 free-to-play units, but these are like 3 of the most busted free-to-play units the game has ever come out with. Aider is basically, after turn 5, is unkillable. And my experience with running this team is actually the weakest unit defensively is Path to Power Kid Goku, which is crazy because this is a premium unit that you're seeing on a lot of these top tier team builds, and the fact that he's kind of the weak link here is actually really insane. So what I do on this team is I run a rotation of Aider with Path to Power Kid Goku. When you're running Aider, you're kind of locked into doing that because Aider wants to be around a Kid Goku, and then we do another rotation of Bulma with a Path to Power Kid Goku. They link great. It's insane. You got Bulma doing the 2-turn support, and then you're floating the S tier Yamcha, who's absolutely insane. He can tank Red Zone. I've done it in my videos. Int Bulma is probably the weakest one here, but thing is she's got 70% chance to dodge, so provided you can dodge, you know, you just need a little RNG on your side, but she's probably going to be fine. And if you are in a situation where you want to put her in slot 1 and she dodges a bunch, she can put up like 9-10 mil attack stats. She's actually kind of crazy. But normally she'll be floating, doing like 3 mil attack stats, but supporting and can dodge. She's ideal, man. And then this Bulma with her guard, even though it's not guaranteed, it has a chance to proc on every hit. 77% chance to guard. She's basically tech God Goku, but she tanks everything. It doesn't have to be certain categories. So she's absolutely crazy too. I cannot tell you how much I love this team. This is actually my favorite team in the game right now. But it's not on my number 1 because I know there are other teams that are better. But yeah, this is my number 3 team in the game right now overall. They're insane. I love it. And there's a lot of free-to-play options there, right? All right, my number 2 team would be the Gamma team. Now this, you could swap either Gamma as your leader. I think most people would agree that Gamma 1 is the slightly better leader just because he's more defensive. You can run him on both rotations or you could float one, but you definitely want to do a rotation with the 2 Gammas together because they're absolutely insane. But you could run either Gamma as your leader, just depends on what your preference, and it does affect the units you can run. This particular team build, though, you could run with either Gamma as the leader. It's basically a full Movie Heroes team. And then the way I run this team is I do a Gamma rotation and then an Orange Piccolo with STR Piccolo rotation. Pretty much 2 darn near unkillable rotations dealing out a ton of damage. You got Piccolo's Orange Piccolo mode, which is the most busted thing in the game. You got a Path to Power Kid Goku floating with orb changing. This Pan can dodge out and is supporting all your superhero units. Love this team build. This is a fantastic team build you can run. That being said, there are still other ridiculous top tier units you can still put on this team. So you can definitely have some fun with it. And then what I think is the best team in Dokkan right now on Global before the anniversary would definitely be the Orange Piccolo led team. Absolutely crazy. And this team actually got a buff because we got my boy Physical Piccolo, dude. Physical Piccolo, absolutely insane because he's got the guaranteed scouter all the time. He's stacking defense. You run him on rotation with an Orange Piccolo, you're good to go. Absolutely love it. And then here I would just run a Gamma rotation, and then you're just floating another Orange Piccolo with STR Piccolo and your floating Pan. You're still good to go. And once again, you could substitute other units in here, a lot of other great options you can run, but this is my personal preference for how I'd want to build the team. But you can kind of think of this as like the top 10 maybe best leader skills in the game and possible teams to build. But I'm not saying that my actual builds are the 100% best, but this is me in my mind looking at my box what I like. But there are a ton of units coming. for Anniversary that are going to upgrade these teams. Once again, I think the year 5s are very notable. Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku could definitely be run on some of these teams. And then we have STR Kaioken Goku. He definitely could play a role on some of these teams. So a lot of great EZAs coming that are going to buff the teams. And then you obviously have the 8th year Anniversary units as well. They definitely could plug into here as well. But to me, this is a great way for like a returning player or a newer player coming in for Anniversary. This is kind of just a great scope of like where the game is right now in terms of meta and what some of the best units and teams are in the game. So anyways, guys, let me know if you agree with my selection for top 10 best teams in the game. Let me know if there's any big teams that you think I left out that you would like to note here. One more thing I did want to throw out, because there are some units I didn't mention, but on like this future team here with this Trunks and Vegeta, you can do a rotation with like Int Zamasu and the LR Goku Black. Even though they're extreme units, as long as you package them as a rotation, they work really well on this team as well. So I definitely wanted to throw them out. There are a lot of great units I didn't mention, and it's just because I didn't happen to put them on these team builds, but there are a lot of ways you can go. These teams are very flexible. So anyways, guys, let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.